After I parked my car, I had to check out all these classic old cars as I walked to the entrance. Admission was only $5 and no dogs allowed. I am Danny and welcome to my channel Denovator, where my experiences become your adventure. Today we're in the southwest Georgia town of Whigham at the Rattlesnake Roundup. Remember to please subscribe and please hit that bell so you won't miss out on none of my further adventures. Well, please join me as we explore the Rattlesnake Roundup. The last time I attended the Rattlesnake Roundup was probably back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was held at the Whigham High School at the baseball field. The local snake wranglers in the area would gather all the rattlesnakes they could find and bring them here in hopes to have the most, the heaviest, and the longest. They were held in small circular pens located on the baseball diamond, which was appropriate because most of the species were the eastern diamond-back rattlesnakes. The last roundup at the Whigham High School was in 1997. Today marks the 64th anniversary of the Rattlesnake Roundup here in Whigham. Looks like over in this area there's a lot of bounce houses and some kiddie rides. All you have to do is purchase your wristband and you can ride as much as you want. Hey, I think I see a UFO sighting here at the Whigham Rattlesnake Roundup. With that UFO sighting, you might better call the Mystery Machine. Get up with Scooby, Shaggy and them. This ride is called the Tubs of Fun. South Georgia, the second day of March. It's a little steamy. I shouldn't have wore this long sleeve shirt, but there's some Kona ice to cool you down. They definitely got all kinds of food. Corn dogs, bloomin' onions, french fries, chicken baskets. There's some barbecue wings, hamburgers, fried shrimp, and they even have deep fried Oreos and funnel cakes. Now this is an eye-catching food vendor. Curbside barbecue and seafood. Barbecue and blues. In addition to food, there are plenty of vendors selling their creative arts and crafts and other popular goods. And here's a booth that makes metal decorative items. License plates. And this looks like the basket market. Here's an old Dodge truck with the advertisement of Stalin's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Cairo, Thomasville, Georgia, and the dealership over there. There may be a chance of rain, but there's a 100% chance of bubble showers. This little kid's tram's been popular all day. Here's a close-up of those little carts. And over here is where you can buy your very own Whigham Rattlesnake Roundup official t-shirt. At the Little Pine Island Creative booth, you can buy some unique beach-themed creations. Look at all these amazing custom-built birdhouses.
Yeah, they are. We get to make one of those next.
So here's some pure local honey and some all-natural lip balm. So we are at a nature wildlife type event. So when nature calls, looks like they do have the porta potties. While exploring the vendors at the Rattlesnake Roundup, I came across this table of various brittles like pecan, cashew, almond, and more. These two nice ladies were selling their goods to help in the renovation of their church. I was also fortunate to meet up with Greg Lewis. He is the owner of Flat Creek Native Plant Nursery located in Perry, Georgia. He specializes in plants native to the state of Georgia. I was able to video his interview with a representative from Tifton's Center for Invasive Species and Ecosystem Health.
Alright, so what is this?
This is an Argentine black and white Tegu.
Okay.
They're native to South America, but it's a relatively new invasive species to Georgia now. So we've only got one established population that we know of in Toombs and Tattnall counties. It's over near Vidalia, but we've got confirmed reports from all over the state. So they're definitely out here.
So what happens if someone spots them? What should they do?
What we're asking people to do is report them if you see them. You can do that through DNR. You can download the EdMaps app and report them there. You can call DNR, you can call me, send an email, we'll get it ready to go. And then from there, we'll work on trapping it, getting it removed from the ecosystem, and try and get it healthy.
So do they reproduce easily?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they lay, I think it's less than 30 eggs in a year. But for one male and female, that's quite a lot. Multiply themselves back. But so far, we only have one breeding population that we know of, and it's in that Toombs and Tattnall County area. All the other ones we think were one-off releases or escapes. And DNR just updated the regulations for these guys in Georgia, so they're not going to be legal to bring any more in. The ones that were already in captivity or grandfathered in, they just have to be chipped and registered, so that if it does get out, we can scan that chip and know exactly who it belongs to, we can get it back or figure out what happened. But so hopefully because of that regulation change, we're not going to see any more of these guys coming in, but time will tell, right?
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it.
You wanted?
That's good. All right, appreciate it. Okay. Gone are the days of collecting snakes for the roundup for prizes. Now the Whigham Rattlesnake Roundup provides educational demonstrations to entertain the people.
Hello everybody, welcome. So we are the Rattlesnake Conservancy. My name is Tiffany. This is Eric behind me on the stage, and we have Gracie here in the green shirt. So after our presentation, if anyone has any questions, you can come and find us. We also are at this booth here with the white tents, but we'll go ahead and get started. We do have some snakes to show you today. They are rattlesnakes, and at our booth we also have all of the venomous snakes you can find in this area on display except for the coral snake. We also have some really cool free resources, poster downloads for you, and all of that good stuff. But Eric is going to take out our first snake, and like I said, both of the snakes that we're going to show you today are rattlesnakes. They are venomous. They're not altered in any way, so we want to make sure that everybody stays back and stays seated. The first snake that we're going to be working with is very wily. She can be unpredictable, so that's why I'm letting Eric do the handling. But he's going to take some deep breaths, and I think you guys will be very impressed with his handling skills. For those of you who are interested, we do teach handling training courses. Zookeepers, private individuals, anyone who works at construction companies or solar companies or anything like that, or just landowners who want to learn how to safely work with and move these animals, using the techniques that you'll see Eric demonstrating. So because these snakes are dangerous, of course, we're going to be keeping our hands away from the box. We're using our tools every step of the way. And like I said, she can be a challenge to work with, so bear with us for a moment. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission is to advance the protection of rattlesnakes and their habitat through research and education. So we're working to protect animals like this. I think I'm ready. Are you guys ready? All right. Here she is, Marshmallow. So this is Marshmallow. She is a dusky pygmy rattlesnake. But you can see Marshmallow is gray in color. She's got black blotches down her body. Pygmies usually have a rust-colored stripe that goes from their head to their tail as well. And she is a full-size adult, so sometimes they get a little bit bigger 24 inches at most. Every now and then they get bigger, but she's a good size adult. And this is a really interesting species. So this is Shortcake, our eastern diamondback rattlesnake. She's one of the rattlesnakes you can find living at our facility in Jacksonville, Florida. And of course, she's a lot larger than our friend Marshmallow. Eastern diamondbacks can get even larger than this, with some individuals getting over 6 feet in length. You can see Shortcake is about 4 feet in length, and she's still a really impressive size and a really great rattlesnake to work with. Well, even though they can be potentially dangerous, they're pretty amazing animals that fill an important role in their ecosystem. So one, when people think of rattlesnakes, a lot of times they're only thinking of them as predators, and they are very adept predators, so they do help control the pest population. But a lot of people don't realize that rattlesnakes and other venomous snakes are also a really important prey item themselves. So things like birds of prey and wading birds and even other types of snakes like our federally protected eastern indigo relies on healthy populations of snakes, even rattlesnakes or other venomous snakes as a food source. So we always say the homeowner might not love the cottonmouth in their retention pond, but they love the great blue heron that flies in every evening at sunset, and all of these animals exist together in a really delicate balance. When you remove one, you're having an impact both up and down the line. And finally, even though they can be dangerous to us, their venom is incredibly important for research and medicine. A lot of drugs are made using venom or proteins that were discovered in snake venom. Who here knows anybody that's had a heart attack or a heart transplant? I do. Their life is probably saved by the dusky pygmy rattlesnake that's native to Georgia, and that's because the drug integralin, which helps prevent blood clots during heart attacks and other cardiovascular episodes, was made from a protein discovered in the pygmy rattlesnake's venom. It's really interesting stuff. And the cool thing about venom is it's not an infinite resource. It's something we can't produce in a lab. It's a very complex bioactive element. And it varies from species to species, but also within the same populations or with different populations of the same species. So some populations of the eastern diamondback, for example, like Shortcake, actually have a really interesting, what we call myotoxic component to their venom that other eastern diamondbacks don't have. And we don't yet know what the reason for that is. So when we lose those populations, we lose along with it all that potential for science and medicine. It allows us to get a good look at their body condition, to notice if they have any injuries or abnormalities. It's also the way that we're able to collect samples of wild snakes or to give them medication. Anytime we have to be hands-on with the animal, we want to have them restrained safely in a tube. Sometimes this takes a couple seconds, sometimes it takes several minutes. So you just have to be patient with the animal. So Shortcake is an adult eastern diamondback, and this is a very slow-growing species, and a lot of people don't realize that. It takes a female eastern diamondback anywhere from 5 to 7 years to reach breeding age. And they don't breed every year like other animals do. Eastern diamondback female might breed every 3 to 7 years, maybe once or twice in her entire life. So when you've lost one adult breeding female, there's really been a detriment at that population level of this snake. You know, like I said earlier, we do teach venomous handling training where we teach you how to safely do these techniques. We've been teaching these trainings since 2015, and our organization sets the industry standard in safe venomous handling practices. So if you're interested in that, we do have more information at our booth, these 2 white tents by the stage. We also have a lot of great resources for parents and teachers or anyone in the community that works with the public on how to keep kids safe when we live alongside potentially dangerous animals like this. Alright, so we got her in the big tube. We're going to shift her over to the smaller one so it's safer to get hands on her. It's important that we're just patient because she is a wild animal, even though she lives at our facility in Jacksonville. We don't really get used to being handled, but Eric got her in the tube, so awesome job, Eric. So what we're going to do is, if you guys want to get a good look at her or touch her, we're very gently going to use 2 fingers and touching her back towards her rattle. And if you want
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed my video today here at the Whigham Rattlesnake Roundup. Remember to please subscribe and hit that bell so you be notified when I release my next video. And always remember, your adventure awaits with the Danivator. I will see y'all the next time.